Hello, good evening, namaskar to all of you. I welcome all of you. I can see Mr. Ankit has joined, Mr. Puneet, Mr. Kumar, and Mr. Malhotra. I welcome all of you to this our first webinar from Let's Rise. And my name is Dev, and today I am your presenter. So before starting, I would like to say something to all of you, is that I will try to speak in both English and Hindi. And I hope that is okay with all of you. And I will keep my video on off mode so that we all can concentrate on the content. ताकि हम सब जो कंटेंट है, हम जो आज पेश करने जा रहे हैं, उस पे हम ज़्यादा ध्यान दे पाए. और मैं वादा करता हूँ आपसे कि ये बड़ा ही एक्साइटिंग सेशन रहेगा, where you will be able to find out what is retail fundraising and what is face-to-face fundraising, what are the nitty-gritties. So the ground rules are that we will try to tell you more about retail fundraising and face-to-face fundraising. Also, we would like to have some questions. If we get time to have those question answer session, we will have those. और एल्स आप हमें मेल भी कर सकते हैं, हम अपना मेल आईडी देंगे, अपना कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर देंगे. We can also exchange over email or over a call. But first of all, thank you all taking out time in this busy schedule to join this webinar. So a little bit of introduction about us and myself also. So you can see that we are an establishment which have 18 years of experience in working with global non-profit setups and for-profit setups, and successfully managed to set up in-house individual or retail fundraising process along with digital and offline mobilization. When I say that 18 years, we have been part of several international non-profits which had worked on the area of environment, which has worked in the area of child rights, child education, and other causes. And to be honest, we believe in what the United Nations Sustainable Goals, Development Goals have been established, which United Nations is saying that every country has to achieve those goals by 2030. And just I wanted to share those goals. Goal number 1 was no poverty. By 2030, entire world should be working towards that we can eradicate poverty. The zero hunger. Number 2 goal was zero hunger. Number 3 goal was good health and well-being. Then quality education. Number 5, gender equality. 6, clean water and sanitation. Then it was affordable and clean energy. Then number 8, decent work and economic growth. Number 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure. Number 10, required inequalities. Number 11, sustainable cities and communities. Number 12, responsible consumption and production. Number 13, climate action. Number 14, life below water. Number 15, life on water. Number 16, peace and justice and strong institution. Number 17, partnership for goals. And we believe that any of causes, whether it is environment, whether it is child, whether it is gender, woman, medical, education, all are very important needs, and every need has to be addressed properly, and every need, every cause has to be connected to a donor. So we are a student, I am a student who believe that want to contribute to various non-profits, एंड और इस कंट्रीब्यूशन के साथ साथ मैं ये भी फील करता हूँ कि मेरी खुद की स्किल्स वो भी एनहांस हो, एंड जो लर्निंग आई हैव गॉट फॉर द लास्ट 17-18 years, I can spread across all the industry and help the industries, the non-profits, the for-profits setups to grow. So this is about us. Now moving to the next slide. So the very important question: what are you going to get from this webinar today? And so here comes a very important question. Whenever we see that we are registering for a free webinar, we always feel that the quality or the content will be not of that quality. हम ये सोचते हैं अगर कुछ फ्री हो रहा है तो उसका क्वालिटी और कंटेंट शायद उतना इम्पैक्टफुल नहीं रहेगा, विच इज ट्रू, और जो कि सही बात भी है। लेकिन हमने जो ये सेशन आज आपके लिए प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं, हम ये चाहते हैं कि आप इस सेशन को देखने के बाद कुछ ऐसे टेक अवेज ले जा सकें जो आपको हेल्प कर सके आपके स्ट्रेटेजी पे, आपके गोल्स पे या आपके ऑब्जेक्टिव्स पे। तो चलिए देखते हैं आज क्या आप हमारे से व्हाट वी कैन शेयर विथ यू। So you will able to know what is retail face-to-face fundraising, its principles. क्या है retail face-to-face fundraising, उसके principles क्या है। आप ये भी जान पाएंगे what are the various retail face-to-face fundraising avenues and how to do it. क्या retail fundraising के different avenues क्या क्या है और उसको कैसे हम कर पाएंगे। Third, what are the tick boxes you or your organization need to have before having a successful retail face-to-face fundraising. आप क्या क्या चीजें आप देखेंगे आपके पास ऑलरेडी एस्टैब्लिश्ड हैं आपके कॉज में, आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में या आपके सेटअप में, जिससे कि आप रिटेल फंडरेजिंग शुरू कर पाएं। एंड फोर्थ पॉइंट आप जान पाएंगे कि what is the unique selling proposition for retail fundraising, face to face retail fundraising. क्या है यूनिक सेलिंग प्रोपोजिशन जिससे एक सक्सेसफुल रिटेल फंडरेजिंग आप एस्टैब्लिश कर पाएंगे आपके कॉस्ट के लिए या आपके एस्टैब्लिशमेंट के लिए। और लास्टली, क्या सर्विसेज हैं अवेलेबल इंडस्ट्री में आपको हेल्प करने के लिए, आपको अपने गोल्स के पास ले जाने के लिए थ्रू रिटेल फंडरेजिंग, उसके बारे में भी आप जानेंगे। तो ये 5 जो पॉइंट्स हैं ये आपके पास आज आप यहाँ से ले जा पाएंगे, एंड आई होप you will be it will be useful for you to think through it and whether you can implement in your strategy or goals to take the issue forward. Let's move to the next slide. So एक सवाल आता है हमारे दिमाग में, या हम सोचते हैं कि रिटेल फंडरेजिंग क्या है, और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हम सबको पता है, वी ऑल नो व्हाट इज रिटेल फंडरेजिंग, व्हाट इज रिटेल, बट क्या होता है कि कभी कभी हमें पता रहने के बावजूद भी हमें कभी कभी ये हम कंफ्यूजन में रहते हैं, या ये हमें क्लैरिटी नहीं रहती है कि हम किस प्रकार से उसको अप्रोच करें या क्या स्ट्रेटेजी हम अपनाएं ताकि वो रिटेल फंडरेजिंग जो हम करेंगे हमारे कॉज के लिए, हमारे सेटअप के लिए, वो कैसे लॉन्ग रन पे हमें हेल्प करे। तो अगर ये सवाल है, ये सवाल को हम एक तरह से एक जानकारी इससे ले सकते हैं कि अगर मैं पूछूं व्हाट इज रिटेल फंडरेजिंग, एक पोलिंग कर सकते हैं हम। अगर आज जो हमारे पास जो दर्शक हैं या जो भी हमारे वेबिनार में आए हैं उनसे अगर मैं पूछूं कि क्या है रिटेल फंडरेजिंग, तो मैं अभी आपके साथ एक शेयर करूंगा एक पोल। आप देखिए, इस पोल में पार्टिसिपेट कीजिए। एब्सोल्युटली। So we can see the results. The results are very, very true. And yes, small gifts for a long time. Absolutely. Exactly. So हमने जैसे पोल में देखा कि स्मॉल गिफ्ट फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम, एकदम राइट, इट इज एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट, एंड इट इज लाइक खुचरा यू कैन से छोटे छोटे अमाउंट्स अगर हम बहुत सारे इंडिविजुअल से ला पाए, उसी को कहा जाता है रिटेल. So let's go on the second. Let's see that what if the answers which we have chosen is anything near what we have. So large number of individuals giving small amount of money for longer period of time. Now this is all about retail fundraising. So if we are able to connect, if we are able to inspire, if we are able to inspire the individuals with the story which we have, the story of our cause, the story for our product, which will change the lives of the billions or change the lives of the millions. And if after hearing the story, if that individual is inspired to come forward and contribute and be part of that journey, I think there is the success of retail fundraising. So if you can see that there is this line, that large number of individuals giving small amount of money for longer period of time, I would like to everyone to just think on this line when I say that longer period of time. So this line has a very, very important meaning, and it creates a lot of importance. And we all experts who are doing this retail fundraising for last so many years have been finding this. We're trying to find this answer, that how we can motivate individual to be rally with the cause or rally with the product for longer period of the time. What does it takes to take them with us without upsetting them, or without without what to say, without breaking the their connection with them, with our cause. So if we are able to do that, then I think our retail fundraising strategy or the retail fundraising goal which we are taking important. Now let me tell you a story. I would like to share a small story with all of you, and this is my personal life story. So I have been raising funds since 2003, when I was 25 years old, and it was my first job. And the organization for which I was working was one of the very big environmental organization internationally. But in India, they were very, very, very new. जिस कारण से सेल्फ सस्टेनेबिलिटी की बात होती है कि जब कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एस्टैब्लिश होता है, उसे पहले अपने देश के लोगों के पास पहुंचना होता है, अपने कॉज को लेके, अपने प्रोडक्ट को लेके, और उस प्रोडक्ट के प्रति लॉयल्टी क्रिएट करनी होती है. So in 2003, when I was a fundraiser and I was working in Delhi, I clearly remember that how tough it was to approach individuals on street and convincing them that this is their cause, this is their environment, and if they don't contribute, they are not going to have green cover in future. We will not have good environment for our future generations, all those stuff. So in 2003, that time, that organization every month, and this organization used to run a lot of campaigns related to environment in all across the country, India. And the revenue generation was happening that they used to get from Indian donors. They used to get around, say, not more than 25,000 to 30,000 per month. Yeah. And it was only coming very small amount, ad hoc. Sometimes some people will give, sometimes some people will not give. So that kind. So in 2003, when I was doing that, I have seen and I have stayed with that organization for at least 17, 18 years. And being a part of that fundraising journey, I have grown within that, where, there was a stage where I was managing a team of around 200 fundraisers all across the country. It's a big team who are doing this face-to-face or retail fundraising process, taking care of the process. So if I see that, if that time, if that organization where I have worked, if they have not taken this initiative to connect to the large number of individuals and asking them to contribute small money for longer period of time, so today that organization which I am talking about is raising around 1 crore every month, 1 crore INR every month hitting to their accounts. And it is only possible because they have approached more than, I think, 20-30 crores individuals. They have spoken about the cause, and from that they have got. So I mean to say that if you are speaking to 10 individuals about your cause, if your cause and story is very connecting, if you have your goals are very clear so that the individual is connected, then I would say if you talk to 10 individuals, one individual will come and contribute in very worst circumstances. And it is not that our countrymen don't want to contribute for causes, don't want to contribute for product. There are individuals who will contribute for the project. It's only just how we are creating the connect with them. So this is one organization. I gave you an example. Another organization which started in India in very late in 2016-17, and that organization worked on human rights, and it was also an international organization. It wants to establish in India. It wants to take a lot of human rights issues in India, and they also started this retail fundraising process. They started from a zero, and in 5 years' time, their revenue generation every month when they started, it was around 5 to 6 lakhs rupees per month initially when they established, and it took around 2016, 17, 18. It took around 2 years or maybe 3 years, to establish that system, to get to know what is that they have to speak to the common man, that the common individual can come forward and contribute. So right now, that organization, every month they were having around 70 lakhs rupees every month on month basis, a regular money coming in their bank. And it's only possible because of the retail fundraising. So retail fundraising is a way forward for a lot of non-profits and for-profit organization, because there is a reason. If you look at the new FCRA law, FCRA which has been come, where you can only show 20% of the amount, the money which you are giving from foreign contribution to your administrative cost. And if you look at the new CSR rules, it has been changed drastically. So even corporates, the big companies will also not give money. They will only give money to the causes which actually they like to contribute. It is not that our cause or our charity or our for-profit have that cause to work on and you will get that money. So the restricted money kitty, the restricted amount, which there was a huge amount earlier, now it has been shrinking. So the way forward is to create an unrestricted funnel. That means we have to create that unrestricted bank where you will get that unrestricted money which should come in, and it should give you freedom to use that money wherever you want in your cause. So that's why retail fundraising is the way forward going forward. Let's move to the next slide. Now, let me also explain you what are the principles of retail fundraising. A lot of people, a lot of individuals, a lot of experts, and I'm sure today all my friends who are joining this webinar, they also have these questions that how profitable it is. How profitable is retail fundraising? Whether it is very you have to invest a lot of money initially. Where will I get ROI, return on investment, very quickly? It is taking a long term. Will it be a long term process whether I have to wait for a long time? I would like to say one thing here, which I will again explain the next slide back. Retail fundraising is a journey where you are establishing your platform to achieve a bigger goal. And you have to believe on your cause, you have to believe on your product, you have to believe on your capacities that your cause or your product or your charity will create that in a longer run. So I will say that if you are thinking that retail fundraising will give you result in one night or 2 months, 3 months, I would say that it is not possible. But yes, what you can see in next 2 to 3 to 4 months is that you can have that kind of signals or that kind of milestones which will give you assurity that you are in the correct path and you are getting the results. It is just like the more you drive your car, you will know about the mileage of the car. You cannot just the more the car runs on the road, you will understand that how your brake works, how your clutch works, how your steering wheel works, power steering, what to do with your car. So it is just like that. So if I would like to present what are the principles of retail fundraising, and I'm also absolutely okay if you don't agree with this, because I believe the individuals who have joined today, they also have a lot of expertise on retail and they understand retail marketing. But I'm just presenting what I feel, what I have learned, what I have experienced in last 18 years. That is what I'm going to present here. So the retail fundraising works on certain principles. The first principle is regular monthly recurring gifts. When I say regular monthly recurring gifts, a lot of you might be knowing that. What do I mean by that? Regular means जो इनकम आता रहे आपके बैंक अकाउंट में हिट होते रहे डोनर से, और मंथली आता रहे, हर मंथ आता रहे, और ये गिफ्ट छोटे छोटे गिफ्ट्स हो, और इसी प्रिंसिपल्स पे रिटेल फंड रेजिंग इज एस्टैब्लिश. ये बहुत ही एक इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है रिटेल फंड रेजिंग का. अगर आपके प्लानिंग में अगर ये नहीं है, एंड इफ यू आर नॉट पुटिंग दिस एम्फेसिस ऑन दिस, 100%, I would not say 100%, I would say if it is possible to give 200%, there is no 200%, but I would say this is the, the very main aspect of the retail fundraising, that your planning should be around this regular monthly recurring gifts. Number two, balanced acquisition. So when I say balanced acquisition is that when आप जब डोनर एक्वायर करने जाएंगे आपके रिटेल फंडरेजिंग स्ट्रैटेजी से, यू हैव टू बी वेरी बैलेंस. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर आप ये चाहते हैं, आप ये देख रहे हैं कि मेरा कोई सेक्टर है जहां पे मैंने मेरे टीम को या मेरे स्ट्रैटेजी को मैंने उस सेक्टर में लगाया है, वहां पे मुझे रिकरिंग गिविंग नहीं मिल रहा है, वहां पे मुझे बहुत वन ऑफ गिविंग मिल रहा है. मतलब मुझे डोनर्स मिल रहे हैं जो मुझे वन टाइम कंट्रीब्यूशन दे रहे हैं, मुझे वन टाइम कंट्रीब्यूशन दे रहे हैं, और मुझे रिकरिंग डोनेशंस नहीं मिल रहे हैं. तो अगर ऐसे कोई जगह पे मैं पहुंचता हूं या मेरा कोई स्ट्रैटेजी यहां अटकता है, तो आई नीड टू अगेन रीचेक दैट जो मेरा जो गोल है, प्रोग्राम गोल है, और मेरा कॉज है, या मेरा चैरिटी गोल है, या मेरा जो प्रोडक्ट गोल है, क्या वो मेरे डोनर या मेरे कस्टमर या मेरे जो स्पॉन्सर है उनके साथ अलाइन है कि नहीं, उनके विजन से. आई नीड टू चेक. सो व्हेन आई से बैलेंस्ड एक्विजिशन मींस, अगर मुझे ऐसे दिख रहा है कि मुझे ज्यादा रेगुलर नहीं मिल रहा है, सो आई विल have a percentage of going 50% getting from one-off contribution, or 50% coming from monthly contribution, or I will have 60% one-off or 40% monthly. So I will have a balanced acquisition so that मैं कहीं अटक ना जाऊं. I should not be getting stuck in one place. So that by that I mean balanced acquisition. Also जब मैं acquisition की बात करता हूं, acquisition मतलब आप जिस जगह में अप्रोच कर रहे हो, जिस जगह में या जिस लोकेलिटी में आप अप्रोच कर रहे हो अपने प्रोडक्ट को लेके, आप वहां पे कैसे एक्विजिशन कर रहे हो. दो काइंड के एक्विजिशंस होते हैं. आप ऑनलाइन एक्विजिशन कर सकते हो, आप ऑफलाइन एक्विजिशन कर सकते हो. तो ये सारे, ये अगर आपके स्ट्रेटेजी में ये बैलेंस्ड है, तो आई थिंक योर रिटेल फंड रेजिंग स्ट्रेटेजी विल बी मच मोर रोबस्ट. थर्ड, व्हाट आर यू आस्किंग. आप क्या पूछ रहे हो, आप क्या मांग रहे हो, विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. कहीं कहीं जगह में, बहुत जगह में जब हम काम कर रहे थे, हमें यह भी एहसास हुआ कि हमें ऐसा पता चला कि वहां पे पोटेंशियल है. व्हेन वी हैव प्रपोज्ड आवर प्रोडक्ट टू दैट क्लाइंट और टू द स्पॉन्सर, हमने उनसे मांगा कि आप हमें 500 INR दीजिए, क्योंकि एक बच्चे का एक महीने का सोचिए अगर फूड कॉस्ट है वो 500 रुपीज है, आप वो दीजिए. तो बाद में हमें पता चला कि हमने उनसे 500 रुपीज आस्क किया तो उन्होंने हमें 500 दिया. लेकिन अगर हम उन्हें 1000 क्यों नहीं आस्क किया, हमने उन्हें 2000 क्यों नहीं आस्क किया, हमने उन्हें 5000 क्यों नहीं आस्क किया. सो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट आप क्या आस्क रख रहे हो, आपका क्या आस्क है, मतलब आप क्या मांग रहे हो. एंड इट इज वेरी, द मोर क्लियर आस्क यू आर पुटिंग, द मोर possibilities that your retail fundraising strategy will be successful. Also, ask is also depend on the average value. आप क्या मांग रहे हो, average value. क्या आप अगर आपका प्रोडक्ट या आपका कॉज रिकरिंग गिविंग है, रिकरिंग गिविंग के लिए सुइटेबल है, क्या आप उनसे 1000 रुपीज मंथली मांग रहे हो, क्या आप उनसे 750 रुपीज मंथली मांग रहे हो, क्या आप उनसे 500 रुपीज मंथली मांग रहे हो, क्या आप उनसे 300 रुपीज मंथली मांग रहे हो. So we have to create that kind of clarity in the planning that what are we asking, and we should have a very clear jump from one ask to another ask. Suppose अगर मैंने मेरे strategy में पहले 3 महीने में I will go very slow, I will put a ask of 300 rupees for my sponsor, that I will go that if you can contribute rupees 300 for this product every month, I will give you this, like that. And then I will see that the next approach, I will go for 500 for different donors, or I will go for 1,000 rupees for different donors. I can also, after servicing or after creating the loyalty for the sponsor or the customer or the donor, I can even upgrade the ask. I can call for the upgradation, because they will see the kind of impact my cause is getting due to their contribution, and they will also increase the ask if they require. And so these are the 3 principles on which retail fundraising is dependent. और अगर ये तीनों आपके पास है, if these 3 you are properly able to plan it out and properly put in your planning agenda, I think you will have a very successful fundraising strategy, retail fundraising strategy. So now I am going to tell you what are the retail fundraising strategy, and I am absolutely telling that my friends, that I know you will be, you might have experienced, or you are part of a lot of fundraising strategies. So what I share might be very much familiar to you, but what I am going to share is the success story, the successes which we have done, because after working for 18 years, there were a lot of failures also. So we have learned from the failures. So we are telling you that, what we should not do and what we should do, that will give us a success, or it will show a way, or it will drive us towards the success of retail fundraising for our product or for our cause or for our charity. Now I will try to bring an aspect here. In this time of COVID, we have seen that how retail has impacted very badly everywhere, the retail marketing or retail sales, everything. But you will now you will be surprised that how come Let's Rise or this presenter is saying that the way forward is retail fundraising, because there is, why I'm saying that, because there is a catch here. So as of now, the retail fundraising were also only looked at going offline, where you do a lot of offline strategies. Let's go ahead, and I will give you more clarity once I go ahead. So retail fundraising consists of few things: offline and online. So before COVID, maximum organizations or maximum charities or maximum non-profits or for-profits, they were only focusing on the left-hand side of the chart, which is offline, and the percentage of offline investment was nearly around 90%, and online they would only contribute 10%. But when the COVID struck, and the situation changed drastically, because people are not now offline. The corporates are not asking employees to come on office. Work from home is there. The malls are empty. The retail shops are closed. People are not buying, not selling things. But where are these people now? So where we can approach them? So everybody is there. Nobody has gone anywhere. Everybody is there, they are present, but the thing is that they are present more on online now. So what I am saying, that the retail fundraising strategy going forward from after COVID should be having this both strategy of offline and online. And Let's Rise, our organization and the platform, the establishment which I am working for, is tailored, is having an experience to provide that kind of strategy, which is both. So I am saying that going forward, if you are thinking that the retail fundraising, you will decide that you will want to try or test retail fundraising for a small test in your cause or your charity or your company, I would say that have a strategy where you have both offline and online together. and then the strategy will be strong. Now I will tell you that what are there in the offline strategies, offline retail fundraising, what is there in online retail fundraising. So when you do these two type of fundraising, offline and online, so you will bring in a lot of donors, and when you bring in a lot of donors, you have to also do retention. So your entire retail fundraising will have acquisition and retention. Acquisition means you are getting the donors for your cause, and retention means you are retaining your donors with the cause for a longer time. And that is where the legitimacy of the cause, the legitimacy of the product, or legitimacy of the charity, or the legitimacy of the issue which you are working for will be justified. When you are acquiring a donor, suppose you are acquiring me for your cause or for your product, and if I stay with you for 2 years, or if I am there with you for lifetime, I think that is where the success lies. So the retail fundraising in a nutshell is this, that it has acquisition and retention, which has both offline and online element embedded in it. So this is what is type of retail fundraising is all about. Now I will also tell you that what are the offline, what are the online. So how we do that, whether you can do it. So it is very, very exciting, and it is a very, very, I am to say, eye opener. I would like to say it's an eye opener effort if you put into even test. Suppose if you have never tested this, you have never done retail fundraising, and maybe you might have tested, but you have faced a lot of failures. You are facing a lot of you have invested a lot of money and you're not got a return, or maybe your performance was not up to the mark of what you are saying, and you feel that retail fundraising is the not way to go forward. But in the coming era, or in the coming time, it is the retail fundraising which will be taken by a lot of organizations, a lot of charities, to justify their cause or their product, to reach to more people. So let's go to the avenues. As I said, so offline avenues, these are the few offline avenues. Number one, face-to-face on pure streets. What I mean to say by face-to-face on pure street means, I am saying here that this strategy will take your product / your cause / your charity / or your non-profit in front of the individuals, means who are there on the market or street, and how you do that. So it is about, for example, if I am standing, for example, I stand with a X organization, I am representing X organization, and I am standing, for example, say in Gurgaon, in front of a big establishment, like a society where there are a lot of towers, people around 500 to 700 people, families stay there. So what I got an opportunity there. I got a space there to put up my kiosk, my products, and I went there and I approach individuals, whosoever coming out of the their apartments, they are coming to the stall. I am approaching them, I am telling about my product, and I am doing it. So this is the face-to-face pure streets. Number two, also there another aspect of face-to-face is that it's also in malls, multiplex, inside the corporate houses, venues. But these will be little bit tricky as going forward. It is not that the malls, multiplexes is not going to they are opening, but actually, as I said, that this strategy will be taking little bit time to come up, this face-to-face. But there is no there is no harm to test. Even we can test in those localities, those locations where there is a lot of footfall is there. And these two strategies, like face-to-face on streets, face-to-face on venues, malls, multiplex, corporates, will have success where you have footfalls of individuals who are over 45 years of age or 40 years of age, and they are capable enough to buy things. They are having the capacity to spend things. Those are the kind of audiences we are looking through to this strategies. And after in these two strategies, there is also reactivation and upgrade. Now, what is reactivation? Reactivation is that suppose you have got some donors who have donated your donated, say few months back, your one-off contribution. That means they have not given you a regular contribution for your cause, your donors. They have given you a one-off contribution, and you later because you have a database of this individual who have given you one-off, you have a strategy where you are again approaching them over telephone or over through digital marketing or through email, and telling them that if they come on a recurring giving mode, this impact will be much more bigger, and what they will get as a benefit is a much more bigger. So you are reactivating them from a one-off donors to a recurring giving donors. So this is reactivation. Now, second, the upgrades. Upgrades is that there would be some people who would give you, in the previous slides I told you, there are different asks you can have. And the different ask is like 300 rupees, 500 rupees, 700 rupees, 1000 rupees. So these are people who are giving you small amounts for a longer time. So you can again upgrade these data or these individuals, these donors, say after 6 months or after 7 months or after 1 year, asking them that they have contributed 300 rupees for 1 year, and this is the impact which they have created, the cause has created with their contribution. And we are looking for taking our cause to the next level, or the objective has we have added 2 or 3 more objectives, and for that we need extra support to achieve those objectives. So will they able to contribute from 300 to 500? So that is called upgrades, like you are upgrading them to your donations. So these are the offline avenues, and I'm not giving you detail because if you wanted to know detail, always you can write back to us. We have strategies, we have expertise, we have plannings, we have models to implement this. We have lot of connections in the industry. We know who are the people can do it. We can do it for yourself. We can even help you to establish your team. We can help you to establish the design, the pitch, how to do it, the how no factor, and also manage your operations. So if you want to know more, we will let you know how you can get in touch with us, and we can help you to know more, and also help you to understand the successful retail fundraising avenues. So these are the offline avenues. Now I'm coming to the online avenue. As I said, that going forward, the offline and online mixing will be will establish the fact that whether your retail fundraising strategy is robust or not. So online avenues is lead generation, and I think I don't have to explain to anybody what is lead generation. Means you are generating lead for your cause or your non-profit or your organization or your issue or your product. And to generate lead for what? To generate lead to create a donor journey for longer period of contribution. And with the lead generation avenue, you can actually target very concrete profile of audiences and tailored audiences, and you can generate that kind of income for your cause, or that kind of legitimacy for your product or your non-profit or your for-profit entity. Then there is another one, telemarketing and virtual fundraising. Now these are very correlated, telemarketing, virtual fundraising. Now, as I said, during COVID, the face-to-face element has facing a little bit of challenge, because people are not less are on the street. They are not going to the offices, they are not going to the malls, so they are avoiding these places due to the COVID. And we have to take proper precaution to keep ourselves safe from the infection. I know there is nowadays the vaccination has come up, and we all will be vaccinated, and the things will change. But till that, we cannot wait, because our cause, because our issue will not wait. The issue will continue to get impacted. The deterioration will continue to happen outside. Suppose every day if there is an issue of child rights issue will continue to get impacted. Safe space for women, or water scarcity, environment, medication, health and hygiene, adolescence, a lot of issues will keep on getting deteriorated. So we cannot wait. So that's why I'm saying that with virtual fundraising and telemarketing, we can approach those individuals who are not going out on the street, they are in their, they are present in their mobile phone, or they are present inside the laptop with the several social media profiles they are there. So this virtual fundraising is that targeting those kinds of audience and then virtually talking to them and virtually inspiring them to donate for a product or donate for a cause or donate for a charity. And as I said, offline online avenues, this also have reactivation and upgrade. Here also you can implement, have these two important strategies like reactivation and upgrades when you get the donors from these two avenues. So these are the two aspects of online and offline avenues. And I know that a lot of individuals, when they find something on their social media profile, they do click. For example, let me tell you that we wanted you to come on our webinar, and we did this marketing effort to reach you, and you accepted our invite, and you are now attending the webinar, and you are actually giving us a chance to express ourselves, our learning to you, and at least you know that what we do. So that is what I'm trying to say, that with digitally you can approach lot of individuals, potential individuals, who will come and contribute to your cause. The only thing you have to have in your hand is that whether your story or narrative is tailored for retail fundraising or not. So if your narrative, if your story, if your problem, if your solution, if your how you are achieving that solution is not tailored to retail fundraising, so even if you put a lot of investment for retail fundraising, you will not get the success. So the important aspect is the story, is the connection with the donor, and and how you are making that journey of an individual who doesn't know about you, but after speaking to you is rallying with you for longer time and supporting your cause or your entity or your charity or your for-profit objectives. So this is online avenue. Let's go to the next round. Now, a very important question. I am speaking for the last 45 minutes, and lot of, I totally agree that you would have a lot of questions. There will not, and I'm very happy if you have a lot of questions, and if I'm happy that if you're confused, if you're really confused, because that gives us opportunity to discuss more and to take you to a much more concrete journey. And I don't think 1 hour webinar is enough to give, to help you, to tell you that what is the success, how you will achieve a successful retail fundraising story. I think this 1 hour webinar is just a window to tell you that what are there, what you can do, and what are the things you should know that to start a retail fundraising. So let me share the tick boxes, and these tick boxes are we have learned from our last associations. For so many years we have worked for different entities or for-profits or organizations, and we have, from those experiences, we have put these tick boxes, and these are the tick boxes. Let's see whether you have. If you don't have, we can also create these tick boxes for you, and you can always approach us. We can create that kind of strategy for you. So let's see what are the tick boxes. So number 1, monthly plan for acquiring donors for at least 2 years. So what do I mean by this sentence? This sentence clearly says that I have a calendar for my organization or for my entity, for my product or for my cause or for my issue, that it is clearly showing on month how and how many donors I am going to acquire, or my strategy is going to acquire for my product or for my cause or for my entity or for my charity. So this is very important. If I don't have this monthly plan, then I am very clueless what I am doing. Then I am all over the place. So it is very important for us to have a very clear monthly plan for acquiring donors for the cause for at least 2 years. What I'm saying, that if you are thinking that you are going to start a retail fundraising for your company or your cause or your charity or your issue, maybe in the month of May, then from 2021 May, you should have a plan, monthly plan every month till 2023 May, that after 2023 May, how many donors you are going to acquire. So that monthly plan. So in the acquiring donors, you will have to put everything. What are the elements that you need to put in to acquire those donors? So this is a monthly plan. Number 2, the website should have a recurring payment donation page. Now, this is not very technical. This is not very technical, but it requires a little bit of technical aspect. For example, if you have a website where you are narrating your story of your product, or you are narrating a story of your cause or your charity, and you have a donors, you have a call to action, like you are asking people to donate. Does your website has a donate now button, which when individual click will have a option of monthly payment giving or a recurring payment giving? Now we can also I will also tell you that a little bit of recurring payment given is that, suppose when you buy anything, any online product or a course, and you pay through Razorpay, then they if the product is it is a monthly, every month you have to get something from that product, then you pay recurring. So every month some money is debited from your credit card account or debit card account or your bank account. So that kind of system is there or not in your website. And if it is not, it is very, very cheap to make it. It is very, very not costly. It is very simple. You don't have to spend lakhs or 2 lakhs or 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs of rupees. No, it is very simple. You have to only invest very nominal amount to create that change in your website. So that is not a challenge, but your website should have a recurring payment option donation page. Then third, if you are giving tax benefits, so you should have ready your tax benefit certificates. When somebody is donating to your cause or your issue, you should be giving that. If you are a non-profit entity or profit entity, for-profit entity, and if you are giving tax benefits, you should have those certificates ready. Second, you should have a CRM ready. What is CRM? It is customer relationship management, which is also again is not a huge thing to establish. So this CRM will have all the donors data, and it will help you to rally with the donors for longer time. The CRM will tell you that at which date, at what time, which donor have contributed how much money, how many recurring donations has come from that donor, individual donor, how many newsletters you have sent to that donor. So it is like a loyalty creating a loyalty system. So CRM. So you should have a customer relationship management tool established inside your organization. And again, I'm saying it is not very costly. So it is very easy. It is very easy to set up. And nowadays there are a lot of CRMs available. Even if you are a non-profit, you can apply. You can even get 10 licenses free to have a CRM. There are a lot of CRMs nowadays where corporate, for profit. If you are for profit or non-profit entity, they give CRM licenses free. Third important aspect is that National Clearing House registration, NACH. NACH, I think everybody does. Like when we pay electricity bill, we sign the NACH form, and from our bank, automatic the debit happens every month for our electricity bill, for our LIC payment, everything. So this is very much required if you because you are going to have a face-to-face acquisition team who will approach individual on street or any venues or in a corporate houses. Then with a physical form, you will have to take their mobile number, your address, the account number, signature, all those stuff. So whether you have a NACH registration or not. So these are the very much required elements for your face-to-face retail fundraising. Let's see. Then most important, which I think, if you have an in-house team, that's brilliant. But if you don't have an in-house team, there are a lot of agencies right now in the country who actually does retail fundraising business for you. But the challenge is that I believe that I have managed in-house team. Also, I have managed agencies. What my experience says that if you have a team which you have a control in-house, is the best way to go forward. And in-house team, you can always motivate, or you can always modify, the strategy as per the need of the hour. But in agency, the turnaround time is not very fast. They take time to change as per the thing. So you might lose a lot of time. So I would say in-house team is important. And let me tell you that in-house team, what kind of in-house team you will have, what will be the recruitment you have, what kind of individuals you should hire, this all you can get us from us. We are expert on that. We can help you to establish that, and we can also help you to get connected with a lot of agencies. So it is not that not much doable, but the best aspect is that to have your own in-house team to do this. This is what. And most importantly, very important aspect is that the pitch should be synced for recurring gift. So what I said, what is the pitch is that the story of the issue, what is the problem, how you are going to solve the problem, and what is the result of by solving that problem. If these three are very clearly narrated and trained, that your executive who is selling your product or who is presenting your cause to an individual is very much trained with this pitch, like what they have to say or what they have to say, I think your retail fundraising strategy is ready to rock. And this is the tick boxes you need to have a retail fundraising. So friends, if you have these in your boxes, if you have these in your organization, I think you are ready to rock. And if you don't, we can help you to establish this. We go to the next thing. And the other most important aspect is that your entire goal of the organization should be tailored for monthly giving gift. What do I mean by that? Suppose it's a product, the product which you are selling, or the cause which you are selling, or the cause or the issue which you are presenting in front of an individual. The entire story should be rallying or tailored for the monthly gift. Suppose if I say that I need a support for a girl child, I need a support for education for a girl child, I need a support for, say, to create a curriculum in university, or I want to provide an education to underprivileged children for, say, 5 years. That kind of story has to be tailored for a monthly gift. And if your program or your goal or your project is not tailored for monthly gift, so even if you have the other tick boxes, then the strategy would have a possibility of failure. So it is very important that your project or program goal should be tailored for a monthly giving gift. So these are the tick boxes, and I hope a lot of I think my friends who are part of this webinar, they have this tick boxes. If not, we are always there. You can always approach. We can help you to achieve that. Now, the last slide. What is the USP of retail fundraising? The USP is time and patience. We have to give time and we have to be patient. Then test and test and test. That means we need to test, test, and test. Without testing, nobody has got a success for retail fundraising. So you have to keep on testing that what product, what issue is working for you, for your product. So testing is very important aspect. Third, vision for long-term ROI, which means return on investment. As I said in the beginning, if you are thinking for a speedy ROI, retail fundraising is not the avenue for your organization or your entity. And lastly, monthly giving objective. As I said, a clear monthly objective should be there. So that is how, if this you understand, if this we understand properly, I think retail fundraising will be a successful strategy for us. Now, so this is about us. We are Let's Rise as an establishment. So these are the services we offer. We offer services related to digital promotion and retail marketing solutions, capacity building, training for clients, in-house staff who are working in connection to digital promotion, retail sales, from acquisition to retention process. We build organization development hybrid plan for acquiring new customers, budgeting and reporting, manpower recruitment drive, and a hybrid model for tailored positions, preparation of hybrid digital retail sales pitches, overall strategy for hybrid retail fundraising. And our email ID is info@letsrise.com, and these are our mobile number. And we will, again, the participants will get an email from us after this webinar. They will get all the details, and if you want to approach us, we are happy to help you. And this is very important. So if you want to note it down, you can note it down in a page, this email ID, and these are the numbers, and we will be happy to help you, to serve you. And I think this brings me the end of my webinar session. I am feeling very, very motivated, because as an establishment, this is our first episode, and we are going to bring in lot more episodes where we will also now deep dive into the each avenues. The next episodes or next webinars, we will tell about how to do it, what are the things to do it. But if you really require our services, do reach out to us. And this is our email ID, info@letsrise.com, and this is our numbers too, if you want to directly call us. Which brings me end of this webinar. So I thank you, all of you,